The current news landscape makes it extremely difficult to find information that isn't shaped by commercial interests. Big news is primarily owned by large multimedia organizations whose principal goal is to maximize profits from their subsidiaries. Big media corporations aren't just in the business of creating news. Publishing, film production, and a variety of other industries also fall under their control. To demonstrate, let's look at some of the more popular sources of news. Globally, people tend to get their information from prestigious news organizations from the United States, such as CNN or NBC. Both of these organizations are owned by large media conglomerates, which shape information to increase their own profits. CNN is owned by Time Warner, while NBC is part of Comcast. Canadians have access to many sources of news on television, radio, and the internet. But when you find out who owns them, are they really all that different from their American counterparts? Is the variety real or just a coat of paint? Rogers owns City TV and Omni, both of which are major Canadian news sources. Rogers also owns over 40 radio stations across Canada and publishes more than 70 magazines. Bell owns the Globe and Mail, one of Canada's largest newspapers. It also owns CTV News, CP24, and the Business News Network. They also own the Discovery Channel, which has its own tech news. Bell also owns radio stations, more than 30 of them. Additionally, Rogers and Bell are both massive telecommunications companies that act as gatekeepers over Canadian access to phone, television, and the internet. They aren't the only ones, but they are good examples of the oligopoly that reigns over Canadian media, framing every story we hear to suit themselves. This in turn creates a very limited view of the world around us, as there are no alternatives in the mainstream willing to go against their commercial imperative. In our next video, we will discuss how the framing of news affects our understanding of events.